InRavio.com.
Hey Beatle fans, I'm Glenn Calderon.
And I'm Lucy Diamond.
Join us every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Beatles Across the Universe.
On InRavio.com.
Broadcasting to the world.
Catch us.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural.
And organic.
But strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 505 on Racing Show. This is Joe Larsen. Today marks a milestone in the 505 on Racing Show. Not only is this show our 150th broadcast, it's the third anniversary. Now, it was really last week, but we had a situation, so we had to kind of reschedule, but 150 shows. And it's funny how this all started out. When I first came to the show, I came on with a gentleman named Henry Boston. And it was his show at the time, and I came on as a co-host to help him out and whatnot. And it was fun. And I kind of thought this was something I was only going to do for a little while. And it turns out it's 3 years later, 150 shows later, and here I am still. Because it's fun. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy chatting and talking with you folks, talking about racing and whatever else you want to talk about, whether it's NASCAR, dirt stuff, or NHRA. And we seem to focus on the NASCAR stuff. So I want to thank you folks for your loyalty. And there's some people that have been here since day one. And one of those folks is WJ at myracenews.com. And I want to thank him for his loyalty. And for the couple of times he's come down. He would have been here tonight. He had some family obligation he had to take care of. But it's guys like WJ and that are always here. Kevin Basic, Long Island Need for Speed, pretty much on here all the time. And I appreciate that. And over the years, and wow, I never thought I'd be saying it, but over the years of doing this show, we've continued to grow. And not because of anything I've done, because this is easy. I could sit here and talk racing, with the ants and the spiders and the bugs walking around. But it's you folks out there that make this fun for me, and it is fun. But unfortunately, with the schedule change, we didn't have our round table grouping as we were going to have. Our scheduled guest is en route. All-time winningest late model driver at Riverhead Raceway, Roger Oxee. And for those who don't know, he lives upstate, and the gentleman is taking a trip down. He's sitting in traffic on the expressway as we speak. So once he gets here, we'll go to break and wire him up and get him set. But we will have our roundtable show, because I think that went over very well, and we will do that. But moving forward, I am so excited about being here for 3 years. And there are people that I have to thank. And I want to thank him at the beginning, because I might forget. And there's so many, like I said earlier, Henry Boston for allowing me to come into his show. And the only reason why he's not here is he he got into other things. He was building cars to break land speed records and going to the Bonneville Salt Flats and working on race cars and all of that kind of good stuff. So, he kind of stepped aside and I miss him because I had fun with Henry, and it was good. And I got to thank him for giving me the opportunity to come on the show. I also want to thank my producer, past and present, Christine Palmer. She was here in the beginning with me, and she did just about every show up until last day, December, with me. And now we have Matt Martin. Matt, excellent guy, and I kind of lean on him more than I lean on Christine because I know I can. He never tells me no, and it just seems that he can work some magic. Again, WJ, myreasons.com, Kevin Basic, Long Island E for Speed. I want to thank NASCAR for giving me stuff to talk about. And sometimes NASCAR doesn't always agree with what I say, and I don't always agree with what NASCAR says, but I have the ultimate respect for NASCAR, and I probably wouldn't be walking today if it were not for NASCAR. So I know NASCAR's got their little birdies watching, and I'm okay with that. And as somebody had said to me, that some of the folks at NASCAR watch for the entertainment purpose, some watch just to see what I'm doing and saying, and some watch because they get an insight as to what's going on. So it's all good. I also want to thank Chuck and Bonnie Schultz, who own InRavio.com, and give me the opportunity to come and do this. So, and there's going to be more thanks throughout the show, and we'll be talking, but it's going to be an interesting show tonight. Our guest, I hear, has arrived. He's in the green room. And we're going to take a break, get him wired up. And when we come back, we'll have our guest, the all-time winningest late model driver at Riverhead Raceway, Roger Oxee. We'll be back. Roger, thank you.
InRavio.com.
Hey, Beatle fans, I'm Glenn Calderon.
And I'm Lucy Diamond.
Join us every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Beatles Across the Universe.
On InRavio.com.
Broadcasting to the world.
Catch us.
Hey, this is Gina Cotillo from The Gina Show. Come join us every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for celebrity interviews, Reality Reel with Billy Charles, funny stories with Brian Kinnear, and much, much more. The Gina Show can be found only on InRavio.com, broadcasting to the world. So come and catch us.
This can be the final answer. But what you say to me tonight, or will you say to me goodbye? For you, I will always be waiting. It takes two to mend what has been breaking. If you still choose to go, I'll be singing. I will remember you. I know I was the one who teased you. You made the stars so bright for me. But now you walked away so sweetly. And will you say to me goodbye? Or will you stay with me tonight? For you, I will always be waiting. It takes two to mend what has been breaking.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
And we're back. Roger Oxee, welcome to the
Hey, Joe.
505 On Racing Show.
What's going on?
I appreciate you coming down. For those who don't know, Roger does not live on Long Island
I do on weekends.
on weekends. And this is a Monday, though.
I know. It's a little tough.
So we appreciate you coming down. It took you, what, about 2.5 hours?
Yeah, a little over 2.
Yeah, wow.
Not bad.
And then I complain that it takes me 45 sometimes.
Well, I came down, let's see, it was about 125 miles down here.
Oh,
I
see?
just was practicing passing cars, getting used to the upcoming season, that's all.
The upcoming season, you're coming back again for more.
Yeah, it's kind of like I'm addicted to it, and I don't know what I'd do on a Saturday night without being at the racetrack.
Well, it's funny. I've always said that a racer, when you get into racing, either you love it and you're in it for the rest of your life, or you hate it and you get out.
No, once you're in, I like the guys that say, well, I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
They can't, they said, I'm not coming back. I'm not spending more money here. I'm not going to spend another time.
Yeah.
They're back the next year.
Yeah.
Once you're bitten by racing, that's kind of it. You might as well accept it, and that's where you're going to be. If there's a race, you're going to be there.
You're going to be there. When did you actually get into this?
How do you mean get into this? Watching, participating?
Participating as a driver.
I bought an old figure 8 car back in 1978, and I converted it to a bomber and ran it for the first time. Riverhead had been closed for a couple of years. And to maintain the license they got, they ran 2 races in 1979. I attended one of them, and they combined all the cars, including the Grand Ams, with the so-called bombers. And it was an interesting race, but I got my feet wet and decided that it was not for me.
Really?
Yeah, I just like, screw this. It's not good. I mean, I'm outclassed. I thought I was going to be great, and I was anything but great. And I came home, put it in the driveway, and left it there till the next season. And I said, well, maybe it's the car. So we built a car and ran it a little bit in 1980, and in 1981 was really the first full season for it.
Wow. That's a long time ago.
Oh yeah, it certainly is. And I started not at the age like these kids are starting now, 14, 15, 16. I was 27 when I got going for the first time. But I sat in the stands since I was 7.
Okay.
At Riverhead, and I had my favorites and guys that I loved to watch race. And I said, I can do this.
Yeah. So you first started going, because you grew up out on the east end of Long Island, so you went to Riverhead, obviously.
I went to Riverhead every Saturday night when I was 7. My parents dragged me there, and after a while I dragged them there. So, and I watched, and I had my favorite driver was Robin Vollmuller.
Wow.
And yeah, I still call him my hero today, and he kind of thinks that's pretty funny.
So you're talking 1979. That's 25 years ago.
How many?
35 years
There you
ago.
go.
That's right, because I graduated in 76. Yeah, 35 years ago.
Yep.
That's
Told you I'm old.
Man. And I was looking up stuff about you. I knew you were a little bit older than me.
I'm 61 years old.
61. God bless you, man. And still making it happen.
As I said, I've got a lot of good people working with me. I still can drive a car pretty good. Yeah, again, the reflexes are there. Again, I've got a 2-year-old son I'm chasing around. I take Taekwondo. I'm keep going for different belts.
Okay.
I keep active. I don't like sitting around. I like driving fast. And, as long as I can do that and on this high level, I'll continue doing it till it's either not fun or I just, if I'm running in the middle of the pack, which had gotten close in the last couple of years, then I would quit. So, anyway.
Because you're a competitive guy by nature, and you, from what I remember, and I haven't been to Riverhead in a long time. But
Look in your book, View from the Ramp.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
There was some good stuff. Some not so good stuff. But when I look back, you were always one of the guys to beat back in the 80s and the 90s that I recall.
Keep going in 2000.
2000.
2000. Keep going.
Last year, second in the points last year.
Yeah, one flat tire did me in.
11 points.
One flat tire.
Yep.
And made the mistake of driving around on the apron thinking I was still getting scored, but the transponder wasn't picking it up because I wasn't far enough out in the track. And I didn't want to park on the track and bring out the yellow.
Right.
So I ended up getting scored in the back. And that probably was the difference between winning and losing. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's one of those things that all those years racing, one championship, a handful of seconds.
Handful? A lot of seconds.
A lot of seconds.
More than I'd like to think about.
Yeah, well, but you're the all-time winningest driver.
It's because I'm old and I've stuck around.
There's old guys that are still racing that they don't have those kind of win totals.
Well, as I said, I think I still got the ability to drive, and until that goes away, I'll continue to do it. As long as I can do that and get in the window of the car, which, it's not that difficult getting out sometimes. But
sometimes it is.
Yeah, but you know, it's funny. On Saturday nights, it's like I lose 25 years till the next morning, and then I gain another 25 years.
Your mind is saying young, the body says...
No, the body does it okay on Saturday night. It's recovering after those Saturday nights.
Yeah. I have situations like that.
But, you know, again, I wouldn't really want it any other way.
Yeah. Hey, the chat room wants to know if you drove the Mustang down.
Yes, I did. It must be Vinny. Yes, I did drive the Mustang here. That's a fact. I took it off jack stands yesterday. It's been sitting there since the beginning of November, and I decided I didn't want to drive the truck here, and I wanted to get here quickly.
Now, why late models all these years?
It started out as street stocks, and when the street stocks were converted back in, 1987, we became late models, and I liked fenders. I did try modifieds once. That was painful. Joey Bertuccio let me try one of his cars, and I qualified it, and that was fun. And I got involved in an accident. Somebody got something in front of me. I spun the car out, and somebody caught me as I spun it out to get out of the way, and I got a left front flat. Pitted, came back out, had a start in the back, and was trying to pass a car, and a lap car, and I launched myself over one of his tires and hit the wall in the air. And that was the end of my modified career.
Well, you know, without fenders, it's tough to lean on things in a modified.
Well, I wasn't trying to lean. I was just trying to pass, and he didn't let me pass, and I guess I got a little bit too close to him, and I launched. I was inside of him, and went over his left front, coming out of two, and middle of the back straight, I was in the wall in the air, and I managed to crack Joey's car basically in half.
Wow.
So that was not fun. No. So I decided that late models are definitely
Way to go.
Yeah.
Now, you've primarily only raced at Riverhead. You did some Nelma stuff. And
I've raced at Riverhead,
places.
I've raced at Thompson, I've raced at Hudson Speedway, I've raced at Flemington, raced at Wall, Mountain Speedway, like you said. So I've gotten around.
Yeah. But your home is Riverhead.
Oh, without a doubt. My shop is only like, 12, 14 miles from the track. So that's where the car is, that's where the crew is, that's where we maintain it. I'm the only thing that's not close to it during the week.
Now, who are some of the guys that help you out with this car?
Todd Berger. Todd Berger is the main guy. Without Todd, I think I would have hung it up a while ago. He is the guy who's out there working on the car, maintaining it. He does primarily most of the work on the car. And I don't mean just painting it, and he makes it. I trust Todd that I will get in something that he prepares. Without him doing it, I don't think I would trust too many people. There are a few, but he's the main reason I still get in the car. And but if you want to go to the past, there are guys like Mike Wheeler, who's the head engineer in Denny Hamlin's car. He's one of the main reasons we picked up and stood out last year. He suggested something and did something, and we were the beneficiaries of it. Mark Tooker got me going in the right direction many years ago. In fact, I met Mark because he and his brother Colin and I hit head on at Riverhead. That's how we met.
Okay. Oh, yeah, the good old days. Now, you've been doing this a long time. Late models is a costly venture.
Which one is it?
Well, yeah, but the return on a late model is not that great either.
Well, the purse for us at Riverhead is the same as it was when the late models were conceived.
Yeah.
So nothing has really changed in that. A few sporadic races where we had a good payoff, but most of the time, it used to be in the past, if you won, you could at least, cover your expenses for the night. That isn't the case anymore.
No. And that's the case with just about every division, no matter how you look at it.
Well, we're not out there doing this for a living.
Right.
We are doing it for the fun of it. It's nice to get the money. It goes right back into the car.
Right.
But it's costly. If I had to start, I'm not talking about my age. If I had to start now, I couldn't do it.
Right.
Because the equipment, everything we've acquired over the years, that's a ton of money.
Well, you know, people don't realize what goes into putting a race car on a racetrack week after week, year after year, and in your case, 35 years of doing this. You know, and people look at guys like us that we're crazy for doing this, but we're no worse off than a hunter, a fisherman, a golfer,
A boater.
Yeah, that's what we do.
It's, you know, the path you've chosen, and that's the one you follow.
Exactly.
I always wanted to race, race cars. Always did, from a little kid on, and still do. Oh, that's a good picture. I like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a good picture. That's sitting in the shop.
Yeah, we were able to find some pictures.
That's a nice picture. It's the same color this year, and still led by IGA.
Yeah.
The graphics are going to be a little bit different, but that's the color Todd painted it again.
Yeah. Well, you know, you mentioned IGA, a sponsor. You've always seemed to have some decent sponsorship. What they give you, that's between you and them, but you always seem to have a decent sponsorship package.
I got really lucky. Back in the late 80s, Rich Oakley, who was the track photographer, also did some sponsor negotiating for us. He obtained a pretty good sponsor for us when we were still Street Stocks. After Street Stocks, he got Northville Oil, which one time on the island was a decent company. We got a nice amount of money out of them, and we in turn did a lot for them as well. I mean, it was nice. After that ended, local guys I hooked up with just by word and mouth. Then, not that many years ago, good old Vinny came along.
Yeah.
And it was funny. He had originally approached Greg Kalila for if he wanted to do wanted a sponsorship, and Greg turned it down. So Vinny was like kind of advertising, anybody out there in the late model division needs some sponsorship. Sure. So Vinny acquired quite a bit of sponsors for us over the years, different people, led to a lot of money. And without that help, that wouldn't happen either. I also have, it's funny, you remember Smokey Boken.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, before Smokey became the start at Riverhead, Smokey used to help out on the car, and he used to come down, hang out, bring the beer with him. And his sister-in-law worked for IGA in a local supermarket. She was a racing fan and happened to be the owner of IGA, Charlie Reichert, is an avid fan of racing, not just stock cars, but Indy cars, etc. And they came on board as a sponsor just for food initially. And that turned into more and more until just Charlie called me up one day and said, I think we want to sponsor you a little bit more. So, one thing led to another, and the fact maybe that we keep our cars as clean as we can and as, try to be good looking. I like a good looking car. Looks nice and from the stands, and that probably helped too. So we've obtained some nice sponsors along the way, and we still do. We've got some, the sponsors I have been with me a long time, and not just here 1 year and gone another. So they say basically as long as you want to keep racing, we'll be there for you.
Yeah, and I talk about that return sponsor, the longevity, what it takes to bring that about. Now here you are, you're talking about that. You touched on this earlier with one of the sponsors you mentioned. They did stuff for us and we did stuff for them. That's very important.
Well, there are little things. We're a rolling billboard. Some sponsors we've lettered the trailer for in the past. They haven't wanted that lately, but we'll get the car ready at the beginning of the year, And we'll go down in the IGA parking lot some Saturdays, put it under the tent, and people come and look at it. Kids climb inside of it.
Yep.
And that goes a long way.
It does. You know, and there's a little recognition, brand loyalty. You know, NASCAR and product go hand in hand. And if people like you, they like going to a racetrack, seeing you race, you went in doing well, and then they're gonna go use that sponsor, the IGA, especially the ones that live, you know, on the east end of Long Island or the North Fork. They're gonna use that IGA. They're gonna go there because they like you. They like your race car. They like racing.
Well, it definitely doesn't hurt. I mean, it also helps that the owner is a good race fan.
Well, and I'll tell you what, I got a lot of sponsors over the years for the same reason, because the guy was into it or the gal was into it, and they're like, how can I get involved? No better way.
I have a story for you. It's a little one. I was putting in new carpeting, or wanted to put in new carpeting in my house in Peconic. So I asked, a guy comes down to measure. And he's measuring, and I forget, he goes, what's that big trailer for? Because I don't keep the trailer at my house, but I happen to have it there then. And he goes, what's that for? I said, I have a race car. He goes, really? Can I see it? So we took him out to the garage. This was before the season started. So it was looking pretty. It wasn't lettered yet. And he goes, how do you get involved in this kind of thing? Well, you know, people, how do you pay for it? I said, you know, people, if it wasn't for sponsor money, I couldn't do this anymore. Nope. So he goes, so what do I got to do to get my name on the car? Well, money's nice, but our first deal was I had paid him half the money as a down payment for the carpeting. He goes, tell you what, how about you don't have to pay me the balance for the carpeting? Deal. And that lasted a couple of years, just by, you know, something happening. So,
yeah.
I mean, it helps. And he would probably still be a sponsor today, but he ran into a little bit of financial problems with the economy, like everybody else.
Yep.
So I had to pull in his resources, and fully understood. He made it easy for me for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I appreciated it.
You know, it's funny how that happens. And back in the, I guess it was the mid-'90s, my washing machine and dryer decided to stop working. So the wife loads the kids in the car, and the laundry baskets goes to the neighborhood laundromat. And they're wearing my racing shirts. I goes, oh, what's that? And then they got to talking. He goes, oh, how can I get involved? Next thing I know, the guys bring me cash on Saturday to go racing. Gave him pictures, like he brought the car there. He hung stuff up in the laundromat. It's the things you wouldn't expect that you get a sponsorship from.
I mean, I can remember going to see people dressed the whole 9 yards and this, and try to get, to get in through, get my foot in the door.
Yep.
Basically, no thanks. And when I was running well and doing well, and I was running a Pontiac, well, basically still running a Pontiac, I went to a Pontiac dealer, and a guy was like, if he could have thrown me out the door, he would have.
Wow.
But, it's like, I didn't even want to, once he heard sponsor, and that's probably the wrong word today.
That's
You
right.
have to use the word advertising.
Yep.
Sponsor just means like, can you give me money?
Yeah.
Advertising, that's how you start out now, because that is something for them. They're going to benefit from it, not just you.
And I say that all the time to the folks in the chat room and who listen and watch during the week on the archives. There has to be a benefit. I call it the WIFM, the acronym, what's in it for me. You got to show them what's in it for them so that A, they'll participate, and B, they keep coming back. And speaking of coming back, we're going to take a break. And we come back, we'll continue our discussion with the winningest late model driver in Riverhead Raceway, Roger Oxee. We'll be back.
Vinny's up there.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice, and we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
Hey, Beatle fans, I'm Glenn Calderon.
And I'm Lucy Diamond.
Join us every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Beatles Across the Universe.
On InRavio.com.
Broadcasting to the world.
Catch us.
Girls, girls, girls.
Boy, that looks pretty good on the screen.
Doesn't it?
I like how you superimpose that desk and things.
That's a real desk.
Yeah, but it's not here.
It's somewhere.
Yeah, but it's not here. Oh, look at that studio.
Look
I
at
like
this.
that.
All right?
I-
Look at that.
Where is that studio?
We put you here.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah, we
like
put
that.
you-
That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it is.
I
It's
like
not
that.
bad.
Yeah.
And that's what people see.
That's very cool.
If they only knew. If they only knew. So anyway, speaking of knowing, during break, I've always said that sometimes the conversation off camera is more interesting than some of the stuff we talk about on camera. And Roger asked me a question. He wanted to know, or is anything off limits? No. You can talk about whatever you want.
No.
I know I'm not going to bring it up.
No. I had some choice words for you in the past.
Absolutely.
And we had some interesting discussions after the races.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yep.
But it's
Really?
when you're in that position, whether you're a competitor or a head official, you're gonna bang heads at some point.
Yeah.
And we did some banging.
Yeah.
And sometimes you look back and you're like,
We had some interesting conversations. in
could have
the-
did that different, maybe.
Yeah, but it's okay. I can remember one night specifically where, let's see, in tech I finished third one night, and I was told that I had my right side tires were too soft.
I remember that.
Yeah, so do I. That was 2001. So not you, but someone confiscated my two right side tires.
Yep.
And I was fined $500. I wanted to have those tires sent out to be tested to prove that I was not cheating. And I had to start in the back for 3 weeks. So the next time we ran after that night and being DQ'd too, that was probably cost me another shot at the championship. We came back the next time we ran, we had a week off. We had time trials. And of course they came and inspected my tires. basically, I bought them there so
Right.
they could see that we mounted it in front of them,
Yeah.
put them on the car. And Bobby Lee was one of the officials at the time, and he was there to watch me to make sure that we didn't do anything wrong. And we had time trials. I set fast time.
Yep.
Even though I set fast time, I had to start last. So we started last. I think I was 22nd or something, or 24th.
Oh my God.
I remember Buzzy Erickson. He had a problem in time, and he had to start right in front of me. So anyway, it was a 50-lap race. By lap 30, 31, I was in the lead. And we won the race. And I ended up in the hospital that night, actually,
Yes, you did.
because I was racing. I had strep throat and a regular heartbeat. They took me from Victory Lane, basically put me in the ambulance, and took me to the hospital.
Now, you kind of skipped real quick over the victory lane part.
Yeah, well, we were in Victory Lane, but I was nice in Victory Lane. I didn't say anything about anybody in particular. I just said I hope I showed that, I proved these people wrong, that I did everything by the book here,
Yep.
and we still blew them away. I didn't say blow them away, but we did okay.
You spanked them that night.
Yeah.
You
We,
did.
I had a little bit of an incentive, but I wish my crew had a good time partying that night. I'm in the hospital with IVs.
Yeah, I remember because you got out of the car and you went to the ground.
It was, I wanted to pull the car into the infield halfway through the race. I was out of water. My throat was killing me. I didn't want to do this anymore, which probably was better because I didn't care at that point if I wrecked. I just wanted to get the race over with. The last car I had to pass for the lead was Peter Bertuccio, and that scared the hell out of me.
Not an easy guy to pass.
No. Peter's tough. He's a hard racer, and he gave me enough room. Now, he didn't have radios that night, so I guess he didn't see me coming as much, but I caught him going into turn 3. Went in right next to him, and I came out, and we got close, but I got by him, and it was great. And we won the race, and stuck it to a few people, and I think we made a point, and that was,
Yes, you did.
It was an interesting night.
You did. You did. And I got to say this, and I'm not saying it because he's sitting here, and I've always said this. Even though I was the head guy and the ultimate decision comes down from me, the way you handled the previous event, you were the ultimate professional. You didn't come up screaming like some competitors might have.
I screamed later.
Yeah, but you came up like a professional.
Well, again, I screamed later on, and I just, at that point, I didn't want to come back.
Right.
I was pissed off, but that's when I said the next day, screw it, we're going back. We're not going to. If I stop now, it's going to look like I'm guilty. And I wanted to prove a point. And for the rest of the season, we had basically the officials on top of us watching our tires, where they came from, when they went on the car, if they came off the car, if they disappeared. And that was the end of that.
Yeah. Well, and I look back at that period of time with tire stuff, and not only with your own stuff. There were a couple of people that and hindsight's always 20/20 vision, but there were some competitors, for whatever reason, seemed to be the ones that were sought after or gone after for reasons unbeknown to me at the time, or even that competitor.
Well, officials will go after somebody who breaks their chops a lot. And that goes into another story. But if you try to mind your P's and Q's,
Right.
if you try not to be a ball buster, I'm not saying being nice, but being a gentleman and trying to handle it right will help you in the long run, rather than coming back yelling and screaming and cursing somebody out. I only cursed out one official one time, and that's because he just irritated the hell out of me, and finally I had enough, and that was Jim Maggio.
I can understand that.
And I cursed him out into his face, and he walked away from me. I mean, he could have, you know, if I curse at an official, you can put me down, you can fine me. He didn't do anything to me because he just didn't know what he was doing. You know, he was an assistant starter who became an official not because he warranted it. He fell into the position. The only good thing that happened with that was Mike Cappiello at the same time fell into position, but he's a good guy. He's a guy who, he's a people person. He'll treat you like he'll respect you and treat you like a human being and talk to you that way. And, you know, and that goes a long way. Just being treated nicely. Not nicely, but again, respectfully.
Yep.
Goes a long way. And
definitely.
as soon as Mike took over as a co-chief steward, and then chief steward, then Steve Tooker came into it. That's another story too. But that's a pretty good story.
Yeah.
Steve, you know, anyway, okay, I'm jumping off the subject, but
That's all right.
you know, Steve's a racer.
Yeah.
He tries to do the right thing. And you know, I think they're still trying to do the right thing. Is he going to please everybody? No.
No.
He doesn't please me all the time. And he didn't please me all the time on a racetrack either. But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
The guys that are there try. Walt Bonsack tries with the rules. You know, I wouldn't want to. I don't understand why people want to be officials to start with.
Oh.
It's a job that you're never right. You're always an ass. And, you know, I don't understand. It's like being, again, I don't understand why you would want to be that way. It's not, you're not me getting rich. And, I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Why would somebody want to be an official? And I became an official in '97, and it was kind of funny because I became an official for the wrong reasons. I got mangled in '96. I got hurt pretty bad.
I remember.
And joking around, because the comedies, I got to hand it to them, they called me on a regular basis from the moment I woke up in the hospital right up through the holiday season. And, you know, how you doing, how you feeling? So one day, Jim Cromedy says, so when you're all healed up, you're coming back racing? And I said, no, Jim, I think it's time for me to become an official. And we kind of just laughed. And this is like November, December. All of a sudden, it's April, and Bomber Rock calls me. And the late Bob Rock. And he had a way of talking. He was like, so I hear you want to be an official. Yeah. And I'm looking, I'm like, I guess. Oh, yeah. And he says, I'll see you Saturday. Be here at 11 o'clock. What am I going to do? I don't know. How much is the pay? I don't know. That's how it started. And then I find out because I was an official, my wife got in for free, my kids got in for free. So the little bit they paid me in the beginning, I was saving all this other money because I would have been there anyway.
You and Mike Scarito.
Yep. Mike and I.
Mike was a good guy, too.
Mike was an awesome guy.
He just couldn't handle the...
I'll call it politics.
that and...
He got pushed around.
Yeah.
Physically.
I remember.
And he wasn't supported. A certain car owner hung him upside down by his ankles at the handicapper shack.
Well, that, you know...
2 stories up.
He kind of probably got pissed off.
He did.
Or maybe he wasn't treated with respect.
But Mike was just the messenger.
Doesn't matter. If you're not treated with respect or, you know, or don't get a chance to explain your position, that things like getting hung upside down by your ankles can happen.
Can happen, you know. And then I only became the head guy because of Walt Etzel's unfortunate situation.
Was there for that too.
And it's mid-season, and who else is available? Nobody.
Who else wants to do it?
Exactly. So here I am, I take over. It was only supposed to be to finish that season. Next thing I know, they bring me back. And they brought me back again and again. And finally, I had enough one day. Because I couldn't play the game any longer. It's a tough game to play.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that a few times.
Yeah, we did. You know?
Interesting the things you told me after you were an official.
Yeah. Well, it's when I left the tour, whatever story you want to believe, why I left the tour, how I left the tour, I was, taken to the sidewalk and they stripped my official shirt off. Whatever story you want to listen to, the bottom line is I stopped being a tour official, and primarily, and in looking back, because it wasn't fun anymore. And I was told that this is a job; it's not supposed to be fun. No, I don't pay my bills with this stuff. It's not a job. And I know there's people from NASCAR who listen and watch, and they like to see what I'm going to say, but and not for any reason.
People
other than
watch
to-
this show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We have nice viewers.
I see. You got Vinny.
Yeah. Vinny hasn't been on for a while.
Vinny Cardamone, good guy.
Good guy. He was a guest on the show.
Oh,
a couple
I've seen
times.
him on here, and you had WJ on here.
WJ.
You had Kevin here at the same time, and you had people that didn't like each other, so you put one over here, over here. I remember.
Sometimes you have to do that, But everybody was good.
Oh, yeah, I know. You put them around this nice red desk that we were just
Yeah.
looking
No,
at.
we didn't have that desk
Oh,
then.
what'd you have then?
We had like a wooden, it looked like a shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there was a fire extinguisher like right behind me that I could believe I was touching and stuff.
Look what's behind us right now.
Yeah, that's from Bristol, I think. Oh, we got a phone call.
Oh, probably my wife
Let's
asking
see,
when I'm
it's-
coming home.
I'm thinking it's Kevin Basic, Long Island E for Speed.
Okay, good.
Let's bring our caller on.
Hey, Joe, it's Chuck.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Listen, I wanted to be there for you, but I was having a hard time between you changing your day for your show and trying to stay in town for the show.
Look
I
at
couldn't
this.
be there for the anniversary show, but I wanted to call in and thank you for doing what you do for us at the radio and doing the show every week. And I remember when I called you. And I said, listen, Joe, I got an idea. I think I want you to do a TV show. The only thing you said to me was, all right, where do I got to be and when do you want me there?
Let's say, Chuck, it's always that way for you. You're my buddy. You know that.
So, we
eating?
Thank you. Yeah, and I want to thank you and Bonnie for giving me the opportunity to come vent and talk racing and bring people down and let them talk and vent and talk racing too, because this is a good avenue, and it's a good opportunity for everybody. And I'll tell you what, folks,
Thank you.
you folks have no idea what this man and his wife and his staff go through, not only to produce the 505 On Show, but the other shows that are here that has grown so tremendously. So, Chuck, I thank you. You don't need to thank me.
It's my pleasure, Joe. I appreciate it.
We go back a long way, a long way.
You go back a long way with a lot of people, don't you?
Yeah, that's because I'm not as old as you, but I'm old. I'm not as old as you.
That wasn't funny. You guys laughing in the control room. That's really good.
Yeah, they're having fun.
Yeah, Joe's a good, loyal friend, and you know what? I wouldn't want anybody else to do the NASCAR show.
Thank you.
Nobody else would want to do it.
I tried to get a co-host, I couldn't. But nah, this is all good. And thank you for the cake and celebrating. I can't believe it's 3 years and 150 episodes. Unbelievable. And I said that joking around. I said I think we're about 150 shows, and Matt looked it up. And yeah, it was 150 shows. Unbelievable. So thank you. We've come a long way, Chuck. All right, Chuck Schultz. He is, along with his wife Bonnie, are the owners of InRavio.com. And Silverback, that's my crew chief, No Sugar Joe. Listen, let me explain something. In the last 7 days, my blood sugar levels have averaged like a 119. And I've been saving up for this little, because I had an idea there was going to be at least maybe, something from Dunkin' Donuts and maybe a little bit of ice cream. So I saved up for this. So I could have a little slither
Well,
and
you got to look at this because they only have half of what your show is.
5 off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now it's like 2 off, you
Yeah.
know. Well, they wanted to get me a little something, you know. So I appreciate that. But this is a fun thing. And and just the way he said, he called me up and, all right, when do I need you? Need me? What time? When? Where? I'll be here. And I came down, and Henry Boston was the host of the show at the time, and And
I remember him.
yeah, I remember Henry, and then Henry went on to like build some car to go to Bonneville for
Yeah, try this thing.
for the salt flats and break the world's record of speed or something, and he just got involved with that. And I asked Henry to come down. I asked Henry to come and visit with us, but
He wouldn't come?
He's just so busy. He's got stuff going on. I understand that, but because he was a part of this, he was a big part of this. But anyway, we're going to take a break. When we come back,
We're gonna eat cake.
We'll have some ice cream cake. We'll be back. Let's take it.
InRavio.com.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice, and we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
Hey, Beatle fans, I'm Glenn Calderon.
And I'm Lucy Diamond.
Join us every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Beatles Across the Universe,
On InRavio.com.
broadcasting to the world.
Catch us.
Hey, we're back. We're back.
Cake was good.
It was good. And it was actually an ice cream cake.
Yeah.
Because I tease people, and that's not cake. What makes it's all ice cream? But this had cake in it. It was good.
Definitely off my diet.
Yeah, me too. But that's all right. I've been good. I've been good. Let's see. Silverback record. In bowling has 300. Sugar. See, my crew chief is an avid bowler. Like he's almost like professional. So when I bowl in a series, he bowls like in one game, and he makes fun of me all the time.
I suck at bowling.
But you know what? I bowl because it's fun. You know, it's fun. You know, we have fun bowling. Like that's why I raced.
Racing is one of the. There were a couple of sports I was good at. Racing was one of them. Wrestling, baseball. Suck at basketball. Okay at football. That's about it.
That's about it.
Bowling, I suck.
Yeah, me too.
My brother played semi-pro basketball.
Really?
I can't Yeah, I'm terrible.
See, bowling, I have like a 110 average.
That would be high for me.
But I have fun. But I'm inconsistent. Like I could bowl a 160, then a 79 in the same night.
I'd bowl better when I was drunk.
Well, everybody's walking around eating ice cream cake. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Except you and me, because we have to talk.
Oh, I can still.
Oh, you ate that. You ate that pretty good.
Same time as you.
Yeah, but I'm not done.
Yeah.
I'm savoring it because I can only have that little
You ate
sliver.
a bigger piece. What are you? Are you diabetic?
Yeah.
Aha. Cheating already, huh?
Yeah. Well, I saved up. I saved up for this.
Yeah, you sound like my old man used to be like that.
See, my doctor even said to me, if I want to have a ring ding, I can, but don't have one every day. Once a month.
My father was a latent diabetic, and when he'd go to get his blood sugar tested, he'd be good for the days before. As soon as he was over, right off the wagon again.
Yes, I check mine every day.
In fact, my engine builder used to be like that. Now he's taking care of himself.
Yes, I'm on medication and everything. I check it every morning religiously.
No, you gotta take care of yourself. You want to live a long time.
Yeah. I actually when I went to the doctor 2 weeks ago, I said, Doc, there's something I want to run by you. I said, I'm going back to racing. He goes, what do you mean go back? He had no clue what racing was. I said, well, I'm going to probably drive a modified in the NASCAR series. Well, what's a modified? So I had to explain to him what it was, 600 horsepower, 150 miles an hour, that kind of stuff. And I said, years ago when I raced, I'd carb up like 2 days before. Now I can't do that now. So he actually gave me a diet to eat the day before the race and on race day.
Let me ask you a question. How are you going to protect that leg?
My leg's good, man. They make these things now that do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just need some padding, that's all.
Oh, okay, padding.
You know?
Yeah.
Need some padding.
I remember when you were having problems just driving a go-kart around Medford.
Remember?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I was in that 35 and over class race at Medford.
Yeah, remember when you had a hard time walking around afterward, though?
Yeah, it hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt. Oh man, did it hurt, man. In fact, I got black flag because I was pushing Mark Tucker around a little bit on the track.
Yeah.
I got black flagged.
Yeah. You're lucky Mark would get you back, too.
Yeah. Well, I never raced again at Medford, so he didn't have that opportunity.
In fact, I saw Mark the other night.
How's he doing? I haven't seen him since last year.
Oh, he's living in Georgia.
Is he?
He's in Jasper, Georgia. He's doing well.
Good guy.
He's a happy guy, and he's keeping busy.
Good for him. Another good guy at the racetrack.
Yeah, again, he was one of the main guys that showed me the way.
Okay.
He took me under his wing one year, and we've been good friends ever since.
You know, it's funny, you say that. The relationships and friendships that we build in this racing seem to last forever.
My closest friends are all involved in racing. I have... Sat for. My closest friends are in racing. I have friends outside of racing, but nowhere near the amount, nor am I as close to them. Todd, I talked about Todd Berger, my main guy, best man at my wedding. One of my closest friends, and wouldn't have it any other way. Same with everybody on the team. Like I'm very good friends now with Greg Kalila. Greg and I used to butt heads on the racetrack.
Oh, yeah.
On a regular basis, and we came close a couple of times.
Yeah.
But we became good friends. And now he's mostly on my radio in my ear for most races. In fact, he was one of the ones to help straighten my ass out a couple of years ago when I was floundering out there. And got me going on the right track. Mike Wheeler pitched back in. And we started doing other things a little bit different. We got away from what made us, and I say us, good.
Key word, us.
Oh, if there is, it's not a me, it's a we. Just like you hear the big guys talking when they're interviewed. Us, it's not, I'm a great driver.
Right.
I have a great team. And we do things away from the racetrack. We get together in the winter. And, it's not just Saturday nights. It's all the time. I called Todd up, see how he's doing. I said, Todd, do you miss me? He goes, no. How's the car? It's coming along fine.
Coming along good.
That's all you got to know. Don't call me. And he's saying this to me. Don't call me. Okay.
You know, it's funny how we have these relationships, and you know, anybody who ever drove for me, I had a handful of people that drove my cars and whatnot, and they became a part of my family. You know, they ate dinner in my home. They helped each other out. You know, no matter what it was. You know, my crew chief, my old crew chief that I had with me here at Riverhead, you know, Jay Slice, he's on as often as he can to watch the show when he's not working. You know, him and his brother, they were like my family. You know, and that's what happens, you know, over the years. And then there's some people that you don't want to be your family, but, you know, that happens too, but that's, you know, what are you going to do?
You can weed them out, though.
Exactly.
Don't send them cards at Christmas.
Yeah,
You know.
don't call them for the party and stuff like that.
But they show up anyway.
Yeah, oh yeah. But you know, it's funny, I was telling somebody, just when I was telling them that you were tentatively coming on to the show, and I said, I got to tell you something about this guy. And I probably never even said this to you, but when I left Riverhead in 2002, all of a sudden I went from, I was invited to everything, my phone was ringing off the hook, to, and it was like one guy that kept in touch with me and would call up on a regular basis. And that was you.
I probably didn't have any other phone numbers to call. I mean, when you were when you were still at UPS, or was that after?
Yeah, even after. Yeah.
Well, you know, again, you also were one of the. There was a some, but you were one of the few people that showed up when my mom died, and that meant a lot to me. And it was like, it was one other guy. And there were quite a few that showed up.
Right.
When ones I didn't expect. I didn't expect you to show up. Mike Mortimer was another guy that showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I never forgot that. Mike and I had a rough streak not too many years ago where we weren't talking to each other from a result of a race where I got put into the fence by Mike, but Mike had help. Excuse me. Mike and I didn't talk for almost 2 years.
Wow.
And I was thinking about it one night. I was talking to somebody, and I remembered Mike showed up at my mom's funeral.
Right.
And that meant a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So after I had remembered that all over again, next weekend I looked Mike up and I said, hey, I want to talk to you. He goes, what did I do now? Yes. And then we went through the whole thing. And there are some special people out there in racing, and they show their true colors when it's really important. Mm-hmm. You can have nights where you want to kill them.
Yep.
And that, you know, you say every name in the book about them. But when you need help and you need something, they're there.
Oh, yeah. And I've said that a lot of times. And this sport, I mean, I've been involved with this sport, you know, for 35 years myself. And,
That's all?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people think it was longer. But let's see, it was 25, 30. Yeah, no, it is longer. It's more like almost
You have
40
trouble
years.
with dates, don't you?
Yeah, I'm not good at math anymore. I used to be real good. But my brain is a little messed up. You know.
Right, and you're going to get in a race car, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Good.
Yeah.
And you want him on this show, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, my brain's messed up. Yeah.
But, you know, it's over those years that there were people that on their Saturday nights, and I learned a valuable lesson from somebody. I'm not going to say who they were, but him and I.
You really try to keep it, you don't want to piss anybody off, do you?
No, I'm a different guy now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, you know, we were rolling on the pavement in the pit area on Saturday, and there was a party at his house Sunday. And it was obviously my family, my kids, we were invited. My family went, and I didn't.
They have a good time?
They had a ball.
That you weren't there.
Exactly. But then the guy calls me up after the party's over.
Why weren't you there?
Yeah. I said, oh, after Saturday night, what? And I'm like, I got re-fired up again. He goes, Joe, what happened Saturday night stays at the trial.
Usually, you know, when you have a problem with somebody, the last thing you want to do is talk to them then.
Right.
Get in their face, get in their pit area, whether it's you caused the problem or they did or whatever. better to let some time go. Another, next week, if you really feel, give them a call on the phone.
Right.
There's only, I can think of one person that that never worked out with, that I just don't want to, I don't care.
Right.
Something good up there?
Let's see. Jay Slice, who's my old crew chief, says his brother says all the time.
You can't. You need a magnifying glass?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay.
And you try to get out, because people don't understand the relationships that you build. But there's a couple of guys that I raced with, or raced against, whatever you want to call it, who, because of circumstances on and off the racetrack, that I don't speak to them at all now.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of stupid. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is.
I'm friendly with most, probably 98% of my competitors, or past and present. It's time does heal all wounds.
It should.
Some don't.
Some don't.
And
Some are tough
some
to
don't.
let
I
go.
don't really care if they do.
Exactly. Exactly.
But most everybody is, number one. Great to race against. Good to party with later. It's fun. I'm looking forward to this coming season.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty
If I ever
excited.
get my motor, if my engine builder gets it together.
It's hard to race without a motor.
Yeah, but he's managed to pretty much keep the power, get me the power in time. The only time, one time it was the night before opening night, we were putting the motor in the car.
Wow.
And I have showed up to track for practice a couple times just for the hell of it, without a motor.
Without a motor.
I can't bring the car, but
Yeah.
just got to show off the car.
Yeah. Now, like I said, you've been doing this a long time now.
You keep saying that.
And I'm going to keep. I'm going to remind the people that you're 61 and you have a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking, great. I mean,
Yeah, good.
I wouldn't change anything. I have a 26-year-old is getting married. My second son is going to be 22 on this month. Don't give me. Come on. He's going to be 22 in less than 2 weeks. My 5-year-old is going to be 6 next month in April.
Okay.
And my 2-year-old, actually, he's going to be 2 at the end of this month on the 30th. There's nothing like it. I mean,
It's funny. I just said to a friend of mine, I said,
you're busting my chops because I'm old and I have young kids.
And you're older than me.
You're just jealous. Everybody's.
I am. You know why? I just said this to a friend of mine. I said, I wish I could have kids again.
I have a hot smoking young wife. Okay?
I'm not even going to comment on that. Good for you.
Thank you.
But I just told her, I would, if I could, I would have a kid right now.
I love my kids, and except for Tyler, the youngest one, still does not like to sleep all night.
Oh.
So, it's my wife and I trade nights.
Right.
If he's acting up, she'll get up to one night. Next night. Tonight's my night.
Tonight's your night.
Yeah, I can't wait. I hope he sleeps all night.
So you drove 2+ hours to get here.
That's okay.
To our show, 2 hours back.
But my wife had to make dinner tonight.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm the cook. And she had to make dinner tonight, which means they either had pizza or went out to McDonald's.
Okay.
Because she knows how to turn the stove on, but it's the stuff that she has to put on top of it. That's where the problem
That's where the
starts.
problem lies? Yeah.
Unless it's like a microwave dinner. And
Is she watching?
if she is,
Wow.
I probably will not get in the house, but
No.
that's okay. I'll sleep.
Well, you'll get in tonight because it's your night.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Hi, Laura.
You're in the doghouse, they say. Vinny says you're in the doghouse.
Vinny, don't you have something else to do? Come on.
Oh, man. I got to ask you now, all these races,
Yeah.
is there any one race that stands out as your most memorable, other than the one you talked
That's probably.
That's it, huh?
Well, there is one more, and it was the day after I buried my mom. And buried my mom on a Friday, and I went to the racetrack like an idiot, and the next day, because that's what I do. And I really didn't know if I wanted to race that night, but I did, and we started like mid-pack. I won the race. I got past Kevin Metzger for the lead, which I was holding my breath at that time.
No easy task.
But Kev gave me room, and I won the race. And as soon as I took the checkered flag, I completely broke down. I probably haven't cried that much, and I can't remember. And I was almost to the point of being inconsolable. But it was like my mom was riding with me. And in fact, I still feel like she is at times because it's like the parting of the sea sometimes. You know, like you can't, okay, how am I going to get past these two guys? All of a sudden they go,
There's a hole.
oh, look at that.
Yeah.
But those two are probably the most memorable. Yeah, and the first one. The first one, actually, one of my best memories was not a win. It was the first time I became really competitive. I finished fourth that night. I managed to catch up to Paul McInerney and purposely hit him in the ass. That, to me and my crew, that was like winning the race. The fact that we were fast enough to get there, to do that. No, we didn't have to pass him. But the fact that we were able to get there, and it's like, we celebrated.
Yeah.
And I remember the first win. Mark Tucker was on the radio with me. My right front shock fell off. And we passed everybody who won the race. And Paul went to try and pass me and spun out doing it. And that was, oh, I got one more memorable one.
There you go.
Because Paul's a reason for it. My second son, Steve, I believe it was his confirmation. They're running together, which one, but I believe it was his confirmation. And so I had to go up to Westchester. Came to the track, unloaded the car, practiced it. I had called Paul during the week to come qualify the car for me. He says, I'm rusty. I haven't driven in years, you know, in his Paul voice. And so anyway, I watched him practice once and I took off. And I'm calling my crew, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? He qualified the car. Because he qualified it, I had to start last.
Yep.
And I started last. I got back in time. I started last, got to the front, got near the front, and I had to make a three-wide pass up in the marbles in between 3 and 4 to get the lead. Joe Fischetti and Kenny Alfano were in front, dicing for each other. And Kenny went to the inside, Fischetti was in the middle, and I went to the outside. And I just got around Fischetti, and we won that night. That was opening night, 2005. And that was the year we went on to win the championship. So, yeah, there were a few nights that were special.
You know, it's the things that, you know, it's funny when I sit and think, and I didn't race a lot of races. I raced a long time, but I didn't run a lot of races.
I remember passing you.
Did you?
Yeah. You know, he's 37 on the inside and you know, like coming up on you again, you know, going around you.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
No problem. I figured I'd bring that up.
Yeah, you know, but.
You like that in there, huh?
Oh, anyway. But you know, it's funny when
you wanted to have me on here.
I did, and I still do. You know, I can remember just about every race and almost every lap. Does that happen to you? Can you do that? Or are they starting to fade now?
No, I can remember the good stuff
Right.
and the stuff that pissed me off.
Okay.
And the good stuff is still there, but I haven't forgotten the bad stuff. And you plant that in your mind and you wait, you know, until somebody comes across your bow next time. There are, most of the time, I try to drive clean. But you remember the times when you got screwed and who did it. And the time will come.
Yeah. They say I did that to somebody.
You probably did. If we do it, you don't forget.
You know, the guy came across my nose. What was I going to do?
I know. Shit happens.
I'm not going to lock him up.
No, you could cause a bigger accident.
Exactly.
You got to punt him out of the way.
He came across the nose. And
So they went up and
spinning.
over the wall. What are you going to do?
That's why they call them accidents. You know? But if you watch the tape, my hand, I had a white glove, my hand didn't move off the top of the steering wheel.
Probably your wheel came off.
Ah, the good old days. I miss it. That's why I'm doing it again. I'm going back. People think I'm
Modified.
crazy. Yeah. Well, why not?
How come you weren't at the Battle of the Beach then?
A couple of reasons. It was in a points race.
So it could have been the practice you need. You said you
but
haven't been in the car.
We're not gonna. Well, I practiced. I've been out practicing.
Where?
Oh, a lot of places.
Like where?
Thompson.
Okay.
That's about it.
That's it?
I can't practice at River. They won't let me. They will now because I'll have a competitor's license.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I'm thinking of racing the first 2 or 3 races at Riverhead in May.
Okay.
Just trying to coordinate that.
Best time to race is in May. Unfortunately, the crowds aren't there then.
Yeah.
But
But you know, I was talking to some people in the know, and you know, because I am rusty.
Rusty?
Yeah. Fused, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Welded together. They suggested that I go do that.
Well, Riverhead's a good place to do it. I mean, but it's, well, I don't have to tell you. Riverhead is, yeah, I guess it'd be fine. Your speeds will be down.
Right.
But
it happens faster.
oh, sure. I mean, Riverhead is as little as it is. People think we're just driving around 60 miles an hour.
No.
You know, you're going through, you're peaking. At least the late models will still hit 100, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right, going into the turns.
Yeah.
And people don't realize how fast you're really going there until you hit something.
330 feet, you're going 100 miles an hour. People don't realize that.
I can tell you, it's painful.
Yes. You don't have to tell me.
I hit the wall head on at Thompson at the end of the straightaway.
Did you?
Destroyed a car
Wow.
when something broke in the right front.
No.
That's painful.
Yeah.
Had a sternum belt on here. I cut my chin on it.
Wow.
Yeah. That ended my World Series weekend one year.
Yeah.
In fact, that year I was driving the car, so I destroyed two
There's no
cars.
we when it's like that.
I destroyed the
Yeah.
car in the pit gate wall in Riverhead, and backed it in right to the crossbar and back of the seat. That's where the pit gate ended up, with the fuel cell in there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at Thompson, I destroyed the other cars.
Wow.
And then the next year, my garage burned down.
I
It was a hell of a good time.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. That was a lot of people. I mean, heard about it, read about it, but they don't realize the scope of everything you owned in racing was in that garage.
Mm-hmm. 2 cars. My Suburban was inside as well. All the equipment. The only thing that was outside was the trailer. Even my son's go-karts were in there.
Wow.
That was a hell of a day. February 3rd, 2000. Got a call at work from Mark Tucker. He left me a message. I was in a meeting, and I got his message from my voicemail, and it said, got a call that there's a fire at the shop, and I'm heading out there now. I called my shop immediately. Busy signal. Well, that's not looking good.
No.
And I called the local fire department out there, and they said, yeah, it's a fire at that point, and they ended up having 7 departments, 7 different towns going there for it. I got there. This call was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I got there with traffic. I didn't get there until almost 8 o'clock.
Wow.
And as I got through Riverhead, I could see the glow in the distance heading towards Cutchogue. And it was not pretty.
Most guys would have gave up. You didn't.
Well, it's only because I had people like Mark Tucker, Dick Wheeler, Todd, all working. You know, Mark then, we took what was left and took everything to his garage. Mm-hmm. And we got the car ready for that year.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And we still managed to win, I think, 3 races that year. And that car stunk. That car was all done, less motor. And they pulled it out of the shop. It was on jack stands with no tires, and they just dragged it out of the building. When I got there, it was sitting there. It looked like a lump of coal. Mm-hmm. It wasn't burned, but it was all full of soot. Mm-hmm. And my other car, which we had built for Thompson, was in the fire. That didn't get out. But everything, we lost everything But the one car, and my set of scales, because it was happened to be on one side of the building, that the fire department got out in time. They dragged my Suburban out with a tractor. They broke down the garage doors and got, so I wasn't exactly lost everything, but we lost about $100,000 worth of equipment and parts.
Unbelievable.
And we rebuilt.
Yeah, we have no choice. It's either walk away, or, they say it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how quickly you get back up.
I couldn't walk away. I didn't want to walk
No.
away.
No.
I was devastated, but, for that day.
Right.
Next day, we're crawling through the ruins of the garage, trying to find stuff, and we did.
Yeah.
But, because of a lot of good people,
Yeah.
we got going again.
Well, you find out who your friends are when you're having such a...
Oh, I had a lot of close friends. I had guys that offered me to help rebuild. Guys like Eric Lutz gave me a call. I got, Riverhead Building Supply came up with stuff for us. Got a lot of offers for help, which was greatly appreciated.
Mm-hmm. No, you can't do it. As I know, when I had that crazy wreck back then, I put the water pump into the number 2 cylinder.
Is that a 6 or an 8?
It was a 6.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I remember when you did that, and I remember you coming into the awards dinner that you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah. I was kind of messed up.
Yeah.
For like a while. I was on crutches for a year.
Well, you're pretty well screwed up.
Yeah.
And you're getting it back in a modified.
Getting back in.
Well, you'd be a lot safer in a modified than you would in the figure 8 car.
Oh, yeah. Oh, without a doubt. And especially the way they're built now. I mean, I've been teching them for 10 years, so you see what they got. There's no cut corners. There's no nonsense.
So what chassis car are you driving?
CD. Yeah. With a Billy the Kid motor.
Everything out of Connecticut?
Everything's out of Connecticut. It's going to be interesting, because it takes me 2.5, 3 hours to get there.
Hey, I drive 300 miles a weekend just to go back and forth from my home upstate.
That's because we do this because we love it.
Oh, I just like the expressway.
Do you?
Yeah, it's my favorite place. I practice there all the time.
Practice there.
Yep. Every time I pass a car, it's going for the lead.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's funny you say there's a little game, because I did a lot of traveling with NASCAR, and anything under 400 miles I drove. And sometimes coming back, I'd be tired from the weekend, working hard, whatever, just the hours. So I used to play this game, and my kids will tell you about it. I played this little game to keep me awake, that I'd pick a point, an exit number or a town, something, and I'd have to pass 43 cars before I got there. So I had to count the cars. And if a car passed me, I lost a spot. But that's how I stayed awake driving
You're a
home.
sick puppy.
I am.
Try coffee. Works pretty good.
Yeah, then you spill it, it goes on here,
That'll keep you awake.
But that's what I did. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this season. Wherever I end up racing, I look forward to it.
How's your son doing?
Joey's doing very well. He's married. His wife just had a baby in November.
No, he didn't have a baby, but
No,
she did?
She did.
Okay.
They had it together, but she had the baby.
You really ticked me off when you wrote that book and you put that part in about your son. You pissed me off.
Let me tell you something. There's a guy in my crew, when I was running Riverhead, a guy in my crew, he's working on the cars with us, Vietnam vet. Now, he just really met me when I had Brian and Joe, Brian's a seller driver for me. And we had really just met and got to know each other.
Oh, Brian's a good guy, too.
He's a great guy. And Vietnam vet, he gets the book, I sign it, he's all excited. And Tuesday night, he comes in the garage, he's crying.
Yeah, that's...
And he hugs me. And I said, what's wrong? He goes, I didn't know you lost your son in Iraq. I was a Vietnam vet. I lost some of my friend, my best friend. I said, my son didn't die in Iraq. I made that up.
That's what I thought, too.
Yeah? A lot of people did.
Well, because you changed, basically a lot of Riverhead was in there, which all with different names. Not always the best name changes. You got to work on that a little bit, too. And your proofreading, too. You should throw your proofreader away.
She got fired after that. Yeah, the second book was a little bit.
Do you know my wife tried to read that, and she looks very good. She does a lot of proofreading. She couldn't. I can't read this. The proofreading's killing me.
Oh, yeah. There was like 8 chapters in a row. I don't know where they came from. They're not the original.
Probably with the best part of the book then.
There was some good stuff. As you know, it was a fictional story. Though.
Yeah, but a lot of it was based on fact though. Fictional, but the basis of it came from real stuff.
Isn't that how life is?
Yeah, but some of the name changes you did, though. Come on. I wish I had that book in front of me right now.
I don't. It's one in my car. I always have one. You never know. But yeah.
Well, you always got prepared to sign it for people?
Yep.
Hi, I'm Joe Larsen. A view from the
wanna
ramp.
laugh?
Who?
I'm in Martinsville, Virginia, working a race, and we're back at the hotel. And me and my buddy, we're going to walk through the pool area instead of walking through the lobby. You know, just you want to see what's going on at the pool. There's a lady in a lounge chair in a bikini with a little, like, vest thing on top, reading my book. I didn't know what to say. For the first time in my life, I was at a loss for words. He's like, oh, say something.
Was it the fact that she was in a bikini, or was it the...
No, that she was reading my book.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it. But another time on a plane, I saw a guy reading my book.
Probably found it in the bathroom.
Maybe. Now, did you read the second one?
No.
Wow, that's deep.
I don't know if I can handle something deep.
Yeah, it's deep. It's not a tell-all. It's not like Ball 4, like Jim Bouton wrote, but it's...
Is there any stuff about Riverhead in it?
Not about Peconic Bay Speedway. But there were some references.
You know, I have Peconic Bay Automotive Auto Bodies, one of our sponsors, by the way.
Yeah, see? Like I could just threw him a plug.
They weren't a sponsor then, but they are now. They've been for a while.
So, you know what's funny? Obviously, when you're making a fictional story, you have to have fictional places, and Peconic Bay Speedway just was fitting. Because the Peconic Bay is right there. Oh.
So is Long Island Sound.
Yeah, well, Long Island Sound Speedway didn't sound good.
How about Long Island Speedway?
No, it wasn't working. Peconic Bay. It sounds nicer.
Okay.
You know. And then the promoters, Randy and Liz people. They didn't like that either.
No, I don't blame them.
You know? But, you know,
What was the name you had for me again?
Red Moran.
Red Moran. Yeah. Red Moran, like red moron, huh?
No. Like you had a red car, you know.
And a moron. Okay.
Nah, you're
yeah,
far from that. You're good. You're one of the good
Red
guys.
Moran, yeah.
You know,
That was it.
Dennis Williams. Dennis Williams. Mm.
Anyway.
But the names, see what I have this chart because it's even though it's not, you could read my books in any order because there's like 7 written now. I have a flow chart that shows what character, who's married to who got a divorce, who's this, who's that, so I could keep track because it's hard to remember. I probably have like 100 characters.
Inspired by actual events.
There you go. I don't know who that is.
Oops, I sorry I dumped you. Oh, hi, Vinny. How long are you in the doghouse? What do they do now?
You made that comment about your wife don't cook.
Okay. As I said, I have a hot smoking wife, Vinny.
Yeah. I saw your wife a couple of times. I'm trying to remember where, but I know I saw her.
Probably with the races.
Probably at the races. Wasn't at an awards banquet because I don't go to those.
I haven't been to an awards banquet since they moved it to the luncheon.
Right. So I went this year.
I went to that luncheon the first time. Honestly, didn't have a real reason to go for a while.
Right.
I was going to go this year, but I had my son had an event at his college in Virginia, and I had to attend that. And otherwise, I would have gone this year. And there
It wasn't bad. I had a good time.
And there was only one late model team there. I understand.
I know.
I really, truly wish they would go back to having a real banquet.
Yeah.
Where you get dressed up, and you know that was fun.
It meant something.
It did.
It really did.
Are these your notes?
Yeah, it is. We're going to take a break. When I come back, we'll talk about what went on in Vegas this weekend and some of the notes that we have about the races. We'll be back.
Okay.
Hey, Beatle fans, I'm Glenn Calderon.
And I'm Lucy Diamond.
Join us every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Beatles Across the Universe.
On InRavio.com.
Broadcasting to the world.
Catch us.
Hey, this is Gina Cotillo from The Gina Show. Come join us every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for celebrity interviews, Reality Reel with Billy Charles, funny stories with Brian Kinnear, and much, much more. The Gina Show can be found only on InRavio.com, broadcasting to the world. So come and catch us.
This can be the final answer. But what you say to me tonight, or will you say to me goodbye? For you, I will always be waiting. It takes two to mend what has been breaking. If you still choose to go, I'll be singing. I will remember you. I know I was the one who teased you. You made the stars so bright for me. But now you've walked away so sweetly. And will you say to me goodbye? Or will you stay with me tonight? For you, I will always be waiting. It takes two to mend what has been breaking.
Hey, we're back. We're back. Tell you off camera. discussion sometimes is really good. And anyway, we're talking about characters from my book. Anyway, yes, the Cup was in Vegas Speedway this past weekend, a 1.5-mile cookie cutter racetrack. Not one of my favorites, these half miles. 1.5 miles, I should say. But Brad Keselowski was the winner with Dale Jr. second, Paul Menard third, Joey Logano was fourth, Carl Edwards fifth, Jimmy Johnson was sixth, Ryan Newman seventh, Casey Kane eighth, Jeff Gordon ninth, and Matt Kenseth was 10th. Joey Logano had the pole. He was looking pretty good most of the day.
Penske cars have got it pretty much figured out.
They do.
That and Junior.
Oh, well, he's atop the points even though it's only 3 races.
By 1 point.
But that's all it takes.
Oh, I know. The points don't matter really, but
No, they don't. Because then you go to the chase and it's thrown out the window. But I was, the last couple of events with Dale Jr., he seems focused. The equipment is holding up. The crew is working together. There's no mistakes on or off the racetrack.
Letard's making the right adjustments.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like you said, he's focused. He's at ease.
Right.
And I think this is going to be his year.
I think so.
I'd like to see, not in that rundown, I'd like to see Denny Hamlin do better.
Yeah.
For my buddy Mike Wheeler.
Yeah. Mike, a Long Islander, was with you for years.
Mike was my chassis guru.
Yeah.
Still kind of is.
Keselowski, payday, $449,000 plus.
Drop in a bucket.
Man.
That's what I got in sponsorship money last year.
Yeah. I don't know about that. No,
That's all I got was for $500,000, huh?
Yeah, for $500,000. Yeah, 3 hours of work. Now, Dale Earnhardt Jr., he could have won that race. He ran out of gas on the backstretch.
All he needed was another caution in that last 25 laps.
Yep.
And he could have saved enough fuel.
Yeah.
Because when he had to turn the wick up, nobody was going to catch him.
No, not at all. Not at all.
The motor just, bobbled coming out of 2.
Yeah.
Refired again, but that was it.
That was it. And it's coasted to a second. But they were running away with it.
Yep. It was a great race.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
exciting.
Now, according to the Associated Press, Kurt Busch is pondering an Indy Charlotte double duty thing.
It's not even pondering. He said they're doing it.
Yeah. They're trying to figure out what if he wins. I like that attitude. I gotta like that attitude. What if I win? What am I gonna do?
It's nice that I'd like to see, I'd like to see more guys do it. I'd also like to see the other thing. Let's see a couple of current Indy guys try to come down and do the 600.
Yeah.
Like vice versa.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Kurt Busch, if Tony Stewart was able to do it, I don't even know what's happening with Tony Stewart this year. Tony was the last time Tony did it. I think he finished 6th in the Indy and third, I believe, in the 600, and he was wiped out.
Oh, wiped, destroyed. Yeah.
But am I going to watch? I don't. I used to watch Indy as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay attention to it this year because Kurt's in it. I'd like to see how he does in it.
Yeah.
I'm not a Kurt Busch fan. He's a great driver. But he's not wrapped too tight. But then again, most drivers aren't really wrapped too tight.
Drivers aren't. Anyway, this new qualifying system, the knockout system, what do you think?
Honestly, I can't really comment because I haven't seen it yet because I haven't been available by the TV to watch it. I look forward to seeing it let's see, I can't do it this weekend either.
Yeah.
Okay, one of these weeks I'll get it.
You know what I did notice? And NASCAR's always trying to make the product better. And with this new qualifying format, there appeared to be more people in the grandstands for qualifying.
Well, it's not as long and drawn out. So.
Exactly.
And it's different. It's new, so they're going to want to see it.
It was like they were watching a race. And and even the announcers kept people informed of what was going on and who's on the bubble and what's this and who's that. I kind of like it. I wasn't sure when I first read about it, but I kind of like that.
I'm looking forward to seeing it the first time. So if I don't see it this weekend, because I'll be working, but is the following weekend Martinsville?
Yes.
That I'll see, and it should be interesting to watch them try to cool their motors at Martinsville and at Bristol this week.
Yeah. If I didn't have I'm scheduled to do a practice on the 22nd. I wanted to go to Martinsville, but I gotta get some laps in, you know. I mean, I drove a truck in Riverhead a couple of years ago. Did all right.
A truck and a modified. Yeah, that's close.
I think so. It's all, you know,
Yeah.
rhythm. Gas pedal, brake, gas pedal, brake.
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
We're all going to be watching you, Joe.
So, if I have the opportunity to race that Riverhead Tour race, I guess you're going to kind of take a peek, huh?
No.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not allowed out on non-late model nights.
Really?
I have the deal for me to continue what I'm doing is that I have to give my family more time.
Okay.
And even, you know, honestly, I'm also not a good spectator anymore.
I never was.
I get bored very quickly, and I'd like to be out there racing. But on the non-racing, on the non-late model nights, we usually have plans doing something else, and
Good for you.
it doesn't involve racing. Don't say good for me, because it's my wife doing it, but she's doing it for the right reason.
Right.
If I had my druthers, you know, but
You know, I look back, and I'm sure you were in the same boat. There's a lot of stuff we missed to go racing.
yes, but you know what? That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Now, with the late model schedule the way it is, we have a front-loaded and rear-loaded schedule. We're sporadic during, unfortunately for the division, we're sporadic during the summer months when the big crowds are there. We used to be back in the day when the tour showed up, we were the second division.
Yeah.
We're not anymore. So we have a bulk of the hot summer days off. So
Right.
I have a good part of the summer. I have a good part of July and August and June. We have a few days broken up. But unfortunately, there are times when we might be off 4 weeks. And
God forbid you get a rain out.
yeah, well, it's happened.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody asked me, because I was talking about doing a part-time schedule, honestly, because of the weddings this year that are scheduled for my family. And when you really come down to it, we only have 11 or 12 shows. That's really part-time compared to
It
what we
is.
used to do.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Oh well. But the knockouts is I'm liking
Oh, yeah,
it.
well, again, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing it for the first time. Sorry I got off the subject.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, Dylan Kwasowski, 18 years old, signed a driver development deal with Chip Ganassi Racing. Kwasowski is a two-time K&N Pro Series champion.
Yeah, he destroyed one car in practice and spent a lot of time in the wall and finished like 24th or something.
He's developing.
Yeah, he's developing. I
developing.
heard him today on Sirius, NASCAR radio.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm learning, I'm doing this. The kid spent more time on speeding in pit row, getting flats, hitting the wall. I think he needs to tone down his interviews a little because,
Needs to be a little more humble.
yeah.
Humble. You gotta be. Anyway, nationwide, they were at Vegas. Brad Keselowski was the winner. Kyle Busch second. Kyle Larson third. Dale Earnhardt Jr. fourth. Chase Elliott fifth. Matt Kenseth sixth. Brian Scott seventh. Trevor Bayne eighth. Chris Buescher ninth. And Reagan Smith 10th. Ty Dillon was the pole, and he finished 11th. Now, following Brad Keselowski's first career nationwide victory, NASCAR confiscated the right rear shock from his Penske Ford. The shock will go to the R&D Center in Concord, North Carolina for further review.
And we'll be hearing tomorrow what's going on.
Yes.
There was also something else. Somebody was something else. I heard it today. Besides Keselowski's shock.
Chase Elliott.
Yes, that was it.
Found
The
to be
ride height.
too low in post-race inspection.
They don't have the right height rule. They have a right height rule.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chase Elliott's a good racer. He's
Yes.
gonna have a good career.
Yeah, I've officiated some of the race when he was doing some K&N stuff. Good kid. Good kid.
Seems like it.
Oh, yeah. The trucks are off this past week. They will be heading to Bristol. That'll be a good event.
Is that their first time? I thought the Martinsville was their first. I think Martinsville.
Maybe it is Martinsville. Yeah, maybe it is Martinsville.
Because they have Daytona, then they're off like six.
Yeah,
six
they have a
weeks.
crazy schedule. I don't understand that one. Man.
Well, that's a lot of the from what I've read and heard. A lot of the older truck racers like it because they've got time to do other things.
There you go. You're seeing that as a trend. With the weekly series and some.
Mark Martin would be a perfect guy in the trucks.
Yes, he would. Yes,
But
he
anyway,
would.
that's another story.
And the Wheel and Sullivan modified tour was at Caraway for their opener. Andy Seiss was the winner.
JR was third.
J.R. Bertuccio third. Georgie Brunhutzel the third, second. Burt Myers fourth. Jason Myers fifth. Danny Bond sixth. Brian Lofton seventh. Luke Fleming eighth. Thomas Stinson was ninth. And Joe Ryan Osborne was 10th. They had 19 cars. Maybe I should have went down there. And some laps in. I don't know.
Why don't you make your debut at Bowman Gray?
They'd eat me up there. They would eat me up. I'm smart enough to realize they would eat me up there.
I'm looking forward to your debut.
Yeah, me too.
Hope it's better than mine was.
I'm looking to go to, it's funny, I had mixed emotions about going to Riverhead because it's not one of my favorite racetracks. And
How can you say that about
it's
Riverhead?
not one of my favorite racetracks.
For what reason? The track surface? The track? Or are you talking about something else?
No, it's just,
Yeah.
how do I put this? I got to be politically correct here. It's not one of my favorite places because there's a lot of bad memories there.
Yeah, well, correct and make them good memories. Riverhead is a great track.
It's a great track to race.
No, it's a great track. I mean, I've been to quite a few other places, and, some people call Riverhead a hole. Okay? It's a...
I don't agree with that, but I mean, I agree that people are saying it, but I don't agree
they
with
said
that.
no. Riverhead is a nice place to. It's a gold mine, really. It's a good place. There are a lot worse places you can race.
Oh, I've been to a couple of them this past season. Oh, there's no question about that. No question. I don't know if I can get a fair shake there.
Well, I kind of felt the same way once upon a time when this guy was a chief steward. This guy named Larsen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there, but
I just got to suck it up and go.
yeah. Well, hey, welcome to the real world.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll see what it's like now.
I haven't competed in NASCAR since '96. I've done some other racing, but not NASCAR.
What fair shake don't you think you're going to get at Riverhead?
My crew chief for my figure eight car blunderbuss is in there in the chat room.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll tell you.
Okay, well, why don't you tell me?
Let's see.
Because I can't read that.
There was a certain chief steward called Jim Maggio.
Didn't we just talk about him
Yes, we
before?
did. And his objective when he woke up on Saturday was to get me fired up so he could have a reason to throw me out. Now, I didn't fall for that. I just was not going to fall for that. So he created stuff. And I'm going to share a little story. How much time is left? I could share this. There's 6 minutes left. I get a call from Richard Buck, who's Chad Little's boss. Richard Buck is director of touring series at the time. He's coming to Thompson to talk to me about what I did at Riverhead. What did I do at Riverhead? I'm trying to figure what I did. I hadn't been there in like 3-4 weeks. He had emails from Jim Maggio that Barbara and Jim just forwarded to him. So he starts going over what I allegedly did when he gets to Thompson. And I said, when did this happen? And Richard, he's a professional, and this is his job to investigate one of his people screwing up.
Right.
He said to me in a very first, why does that matter? And I said, well, I don't recall this happening. So when did this happen? Well, he gets out his BlackBerry and he looks it up, and he tells me. And I said, we were at Stafford that weekend. I wasn't at Riverhead. Maggio got his dates wrong.
It's not the only thing Maggio used to get wrong.
And it seemed like every time I went there with my race cars, if I wasn't at the track, my team got treated fairly. If I was there, it was like a whole big,
How come you're the only guy on the screen?
Because I'm talking, I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
And
Okay.
because
No, you can go back to him, but it's okay. Just
Well, it was,
ask
you know,
the
just
question.
you, we switched you too. Well, back when I first left, for whatever reason, Dennison treated me like I was his son. I was like, you know, whatever I wanted. Oh, Joe Larsen, whatever you need, you know, that kind of crap.
That's a very good imitation.
Yeah, I do it good.
Yeah.
But when he left, and this Jim Maggio, who, by the way, worked for me, and the only job, and I inherited him because he was the assistant flag man.
Right.
And then my son became the assistant flagger with Frankie Bonsignor.
Joey Flagman at the last race. And,
Yeah.
Yep, I remember.
And now I have this Jim Maggio. I have to find a spot in him. He was useless. He knew nothing.
I know.
So I made him the competitive liaison. His job was to tone down the situation and find out who had the best cookout for after the races.
Oh, yeah, he would...
That was his job.
Yeah, we gave him a nickname, but I'll tell you that off camera.
Now he becomes the head guy, and he thinks who he is. And he treated me like crap. He treated my teams like crap when I was there, and it just left a bad taste on him. You know.
He left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth.
And some of the poor car counts that we have. Oh yes, the economy.
Oh, people
But-
got pissed off. They didn't want to come back and have to
Exactly.
deal with them. Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
I know.
And you know, and I know people got pissed off at me too, but you know, and I'm
Yeah.
not saying this because I'm here on doing this show, but I tried to make peace with those people, and if they didn't show up for a week or two, I would call them or go to their shop and hey, let's fix this. You know, and we had 150 cars in 2002 when I left there. Now they don't have 150 cars 2 weeks combined.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to, I mean,
And a lot of it is the economy.
well, yeah, you still got to look at it too. Like we started in the beginning. Payoff for, all I can speak is my own division. Payoff for my division is basically $500.
Right.
$495. I mean, it varies when you have somebody putting some money in.
Right.
Your tires are basically $160-something a piece. Gasoline is $12 a gallon. Your pit fees to get in. I mean, it adds up quickly. Cars. I mean, if you start from scratch, you're talking. You could spend any place in a late model motor from $8,000 to $20,000 on a motor.
Yeah. Yep.
To win $500.
Yep.
I mean, if so, it ain't cheap.
No, and it's not cheap, and there was a lot of stuff that went on that I just didn't want to be a part of. There was not knowing the rules that Mr. Maggio was doing, that he'd have a time trial show, and then a car would show up an hour later, and all of a sudden he'd let that car time trial. Time trials is over, dude. It's over. And because I happened to be there and involved with modifieds, certain teams would come to me, this can't happen, why is this happening? And I was like, I'm just here with my team. And then we get back to NASCAR, according to Jim Maggio, how, you know, I was undermining him because he was paranoid and had no knowledge. And the best thing that ever happened to that place was that he left. That's the best thing.
He being you?
Maggio.
Oh, yeah.
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 With him leaving, Mike Capiello, that little group, you know, Steve Tooker. And,
As I said, Mike Capiello is a good guy.
Oh, yeah.
There should be more people like him.
Yeah. Anyway. Hey, guess what? It's time to go.
Oh, okay, good. I have to go home and make dinner.
Well,
Roger, good to see you. Can't wait for racing. That's true. I am looking forward to it.
Back. There's some good stuff in the chat room. Anyway, Roger, I want to thank you for coming down and spending some time here talking racing.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it. I hope you had a good time. It's always good talking racing, I think, anyway. Appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.
You folks in the chat room, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to tune in, listen, watch, talk, participate. It was real good having you on. I want to thank everybody, wherever your travels bring you this week. Be safe, be good, tell somebody you love them, and God bless you all. Have a good night.
Take care, guys.
Hey, this is your good buddy.